Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is Game 1 of some Peoria regional training that happened on August 26th, 2023. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League challenge today, August 31st, starting at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premier events at Die Hard Games, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good stuff. But anyways, let's get into this game. Charizard on the left versus Lost Giratina on the right. These players may have some proxy cards going on here, or some substitutes going on that I'll just do my best to keep up with. Either way, we're going to see some good games, I imagine. On the left, starting things off with a Nest Ball here. Nest Ball, the return of Nest Ball. It's been a little while, but Nest Ball lets you search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it directly onto your bench. Followed up by that beautiful League Level Ball there. Level Ball lets you search your deck for a Pokemon of 90 hit points or less and put it into your hand. Most likely, we're gonna search for. Let's see. Yeah, that Pidgey is probably in danger right there. So maybe another Pidgey, maybe another Charmander. But Manaphy is also a good choice. Manaphy's ability protects your bench Pokemon from taking attack damage. And on the right, the Lost Giratina deck does play that Radiant Greninja that loves to pick things off on the bench. I actually had a game here in our training session where the Chien Pao player used Greninja to KO both of my Charmander. So I kept things going in that game just for fun, but yeah, there was no way I was going to take that game after that. Anyways, on the left here, attaching the energy to the active Pidgey, manually retreated into the Mew, and Mew is going to use its mysterious tail ability to look at the top 6 cards of the deck and keep any item card that is found there. Don't really need a VIP pass in this case, since the bench is looking pretty nice. The board's looking pretty nice for our Charizard player here. So gonna grab the rare candy for next turn, and then pass things over. Nope, still eyeballing the hand, seeing what other cards could be played here, but nothing really. So going to go ahead and pass the turn. All right. Play is going to start here on the Giratina player's side. Starting things off with a Nest Ball. You guys know what that does already, right? Nest Ball, gonna go ahead and search the the deck for a basic Pokemon and add it to the bench. So let's see. Depends on what's in the hand, what the target will be for Nest Ball. But it's either going to be another Comfey, that Radiant Giratina, the Radiant Greninja, or a Giratina V to start setting the board up. So that way the Giratina V could evolve the next turn, but must not have another Comfey in hand, and this is the engine of this Lost Giratina deck of all, really, Lost Zone decks, is the Comfey. And we need at least 2 of them in play, so that way they could do their thing. Flower selecting, get all those cards into the Lost Zone to unlock Mirage Gates and Star Requiems and things like that. So Nest Ball will find another Comfey. And our player pause here to take a look through some other cards. I'll go ahead and fast forward here a little bit to get our play going. We were definitely chilling at our training session here. Looks like Sableye comes down to the bench from the hand. And we are still chit-chatting about these beautiful league cards. Flower selecting, number one. Flower selecting, take a look at the top two cards of your deck, keep one card and put the other card into the Lost Zone. So, beautiful full art boss's orders goes to the Lost Zone. Jet Energy gets attached to the bench Comfey, which allows it to become active, and it is going to use flower selecting of its own. Take a look at the top two cards of the deck, keep one in hand, and put the other in the Lost Zone. Getting rid of that switch cart into the Lost Zone, slamming down that path to the peak, which shuts down abilities of rule box Pokemon. And I think that was a pass of the turn over to our Charizard player. Let's see, I'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit to make sure we get play going here. Oh yeah, we were definitely chilling out, doing all aspects of the trading card game, Pokemon trading card game, trading, sorting, looking at shiny things, having a good old time here. And I think we're at a good spot here to resume play on the Charizard side. Yep, drawing a card here to start the turn, and let's see what they got. Definitely going to want a counter to Path of the Peak no matter what this turn. So starting things off with a Chorus Experiment supporter card lets you take a look at the top 5 cards of the deck, keep 3 of them, and put 2 of them in the Lost Zone. I'm playing this in my Charizard deck as well right now. The Chorus Experiment. I've heard that could be better than Professor's Research or other draw supporters, because a lot of the time you have combo pieces already in hand and you're just looking for that rare candy or Charizard EX or Pidgeot, just something. You're always looking for a combo piece that you might already have in hand. So Chorus Experiment allows you to grab those missing pieces versus having to discard them, the ones that are already in hand with Professor's Research. But we'll see what's better. Looks like a couple Nest Balls were sent to the Lost Zone. Yeah, don't need that anymore, so that's good. And an Ultra Ball is being played. Ultra Ball discarding Iono and Fire Energy, and then searching the deck for any Pokemon card. I believe there was a rare candy in hand from last turn. So potentially going to find that Pidgeot. Yep, Pidgeot EX with its powerful quick search ability. Rare candy evolve into Pidgeot. Charizard evolve into Charmander on the bench, just like in the olden days. And now going to shuffle things up here. The Pidgeot has that powerful quick search ability, which allows you to look through your deck and grab any one card you want. So another big piece to this Charizard deck, at least this variant of it. Okay, so gonna Mysterious Tail for more pieces. Looking for a Charizard EX and another rare candy this turn. Or no, really, the Path to the Peak counter. Yeah, that was it. Almost forgot. So, Mew's Mysterious Tail is going to find another rare candy, looking at the top 6 and grabbing an item that you find there. Definitely cannot grab a stadium card, and I don't think there's any item-based stadium search in the format right now. So gonna just settle for that rare candy and then maybe have more of a passive turn here. Try again next turn. There's only Pidgeot EX on the bench as a 2 prizer, so that's kind of a good thing if you do have to pass on this turn. I think you always evolve the Pidgey to give it more HP, so it can't be taken out by like a Cramorant. Can't be easily taken out by like a Cramorant or something like that. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna pass things over to our Giratina player, and I'm gonna have to pause things right quick, but you guys will not really notice anything. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. It looks like we're recording again, so let's get back into this game. So flower selecting is going to send a Comfey to the lost zone and keeping another card. Going to manually retreat and use a second flower selecting. Looking at the top two, going to keep one and lost zone the other. Let's see, a Giratina V, interesting, is sent to the lost zone. I think this deck plays three copies, so it's we're chilling. It's okay. Chorus Experiment is going to be the supporter of the turn here. Taking a look at the top five cards of the deck, keeping three of them and sending two to the lost zone. So we got 4, 5, 6. We'll have 6 in the lost zone at this point. No Giratina V down, so no need to worry about hitting that the 10 for Star Requiem or uh, 7 for Mirage Gate. Looks like Super Rod and Switch Card are sent to the Lost Zone. Most likely this is going to be a Cramorant attacking turn. So let's see here. Yeah, that would be just fine. Nope, it looks like we're just going to pass things over. Okay, both players having a little bit of a slow start here, but I'd say the Charizard player, not Charizard, the Giratina player, most likely um, putting the pressure on here with the Pats at the Peak. It looks like maybe they were discussing that the Giratina V potentially should not have been sent to the Lost Zone. Um, yeah, because they would have had one in hand and then been able to put it on the bench there. When our players are talking things out here, that's exactly what we like to see in these training sessions here. Not super competitive, just practicing as best as they can, as optimally as they can to get some good reps in and learn, while playing, while having fun and playing Pokemon trading card game. All right. So play is resumed on the Charizard player side, and thinking about using this mysterious tail here. It depends on what's in the hand. We gotta keep sequencing in mind. It's very important to consider what order you do things in. Starting things off with chorus. I think I agree with this. Chorus first, so that way you have some options, or so that way you your mysterious tail is better informed. That's the way to say it. You'll have cards in hand, so you could uh, more quickly, more easily choose off of an item off a mysterious tail, whatever piece you might be missing that the chorus didn't find. That makes sense to me. So yeah, Chorus Experiment, that supporter there, letting the player look at the top five cards of the deck, and they get to keep three, and they send the other two to the Lost Zone. So it looks like we have an interesting decision here, with the amount of time being taken to think which cards to Lost Zone. It looks like a Switch and a Boss's Orders, I think, being sent to the Lost Zone. Okay. Other cards must have been more important. Muse, Mysterious Tale, allows the player to look at the top six cards of the deck, grab an item they find there, and then they can shuffle the cards back in. Ultra Ball is found here. Ultra Ball now can find that Charizard EX, but we still really need that Path of the Peak counter. Ultra Ball getting rid of Charmander and Rare Candy. Wow. Very bold Ultra Ball here. To search the deck for Charizard. Okay, yeah, I guess Rare Candy is okay to get rid of here, since there's already a Charmeleon on the board. But I think that means now there are two Rare Candy in the deck. Or there's only two more Rare Candy left in the deck, and usually these Stage 2 decks that play the Stage 1 usually only play one copy of the Stage 1. So Rare Candy definitely a precious resource here, and I imagine this deck would play four of them, since you've got the two lines, the Pidgeot and the Charizard, to evolve with Rare Candy. So probably still okay, but very aggressive Ultra Ball there. Most likely going to grab the Charizard EX, but remember the name of the game here has been how to counter that Path to the Peak. It looks like actually the baby Stage 2 Charizard is found from Pokemon Go. That one has the Burn Brightly ability, saying each basic fire energy attached to your Pokemon provides 2 fire energy. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty good way around Path to the Peak. So now all you need to do is manually attach 1 energy to your Charizard EX, and it counts as 2 thanks to Burn Brightly, and you could start attacking that way. So very interesting tech cards here in that Charizard Pokemon Go version. The player asked how many cards are in the opponent's hand, so you would think an Iona was coming, but no, I think Course Experiment was already played this turn. But just good to get knowledge, know exactly what the board state is, what your opponent's hand side is, and everything in the Pokemon trading card game. And it looks like a pass. Alright, play resumes here on Giratina's side. Lost Giratina. And now we are looking for Course Experiment, of course. That'll get 6, 7, 8 in the lost zone. But no, actually the Iono is a supporter per turn. Very interesting game we've got going on here. Iono, both players shuffle their hand, put it at the bottom of their deck, and then they draw cards equal to the remaining prize cards they have. So both players will get 6 cards here in this case. Pretty fair, Iono. And then now finally we see that Cramorant coming down. So I don't think this Mew is long for this battle anymore. Next is a Comfey's Flower Selecting. Easy choice sending that Battle VIP pass to the Lost Zone and keeping that other card there. Hopefully it wasn't double Battle VIP pass. Alright, Grass Energy attached to the active Comfey, manually retreating into that Cramorant, and Cramorant will Spit Innocently, doing 110 damage onto that Mew, taking the KO. You can use Spit Innocently for free, since there are 4 more cards in that Lost Zone. That path is stuck. Oh, and the mighty Magma Basin gets slammed down, countering that Path to the Peak. Switching the mighty Magma Basin with the League Magma Basin there. Those League stamps. Shout out to the League stamps. We got Series 3 at Die Hard Games right now. Come and play at League, and you can get yourself a nice Series 3 League pack. You don't even have to play in the tournament. You could just play a game or two free play, and you get that pack, you know. Alright, so Pidgeot was an easy promotion there into the active. It has free retreat. We found the Path to the Peak counter finally. So now we could start using that Pidgeot Quick Search, that Charizard EX Infernal Rain ability to accelerate energy from the deck. And looks like we might be taking another little casual break here in free play, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit to get some gameplay going. Yeah, it looks like we're still... some fire energy hit the discard, maybe. Yeah, okay, so maybe here's a good spot. Looks like Ultra Ball is being played. Discarding a couple fire energy. There we go. So Ultra Ball, discard 2 fire energy. Search the deck for a Pokemon. It could be a basic, it could be a stage 1, it could be a stage 2, it could be a stage 3. You just search for any Pokemon card. No, more relevant is like a VMAX or V-Star or anything. And now we're finally going to see that Charizard EX come into play. Very nice to be able to be evolved from that Charmeleon there on the bench. I still play the Charmeleon in my Charizard build. Just got a handful of games in with it, so still learning the deck for sure. Alright, Charizard, evolve on the bench. Infernal Rain ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic fire energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle the deck. So it looks like a couple of fire energy are going to go on that Charizard EX, and another one on that Pidgeot. Pidgeot could be a good attacker here in this Lost Zone matchup. And the Moltres from Brilliant Stars is going to hit the bench there with its Inferno Wings ability. If this Pokemon has any damage, or Inferno Wings attack, if this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 70 more damage, 20 plus base. This attack isn't affected by weakness. So it looks like Moltres hit the bench, Magma Basin accelerated a fire energy onto it from the discard. It has to take 2 damage, but as you know, Moltres likes having that damage on it, or Moltres' attack does. Um, Charizard is promoted into the active spot with the free retreat from Pidgeot EX there. And Charizard is going to swing. Wait, looks like we're resolving a quick search, I think. Yeah, quick search to find Super Rod. Super Rod is going to shuffle back Charmander and 2 basic fire energy into the deck. The return of that Super Rod there. And yeah, it looks like there's might be nothing else to do but to attack with that Charizard EX. Let's see, 1 prize card is taken on Giratina's side so far, so Charizard EX is doing 210 damage right now with its Burning Darkness attack. More than enough to KO that Cramorant there. And yeah, I guess there's technically 4 energy on that Charizard. 4 on the Pidgeot, wow, as well. That's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, each basic fire energy attached to your Pokemon provides 2 fire energy. So yeah, very interesting card here in this deck. Charizard EX going to attack with Burning Darkness to take the KO on the Cramorant. Comfey being promoted. Radiant Greninja hitting the bench. I see no Giratina V-Star in play, not even the V, so potentially not looking good here on the lost Giratina side. Radiant Greninja is going to discard a energy to draw 2 cards with its concealed cards ability. The active Comfey is going to use flower selecting to take a look at the top 2 cards of the deck. Keep one of them and put the other in the lost zone. Comfey hits the lost zone. Don't really need any more of those right now. Or for the rest of the game, our Giratina player says, because there's 2 of them in the lost zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in the lost zone here. Escape Rope. Your opponent chooses a Pokemon to promote from the bench to the active spot, and then you do the same. But yes, the opponent does choose first. Excuse me. Pidgeot is the active, or the obvious choice. So it could soak up a lot of damage. You're not afraid of being KO'd by anything on the lost side of the board at this point. And it has free retreat. So Pidgeot's a very easy choice here. And Comfey is going to be promoted on the other side. Second flower selecting of this turn. Looking at the top 2. Easily getting rid of that useless Battle VIP pass and keeping the other card. Oh yeah, we are fabulously proud of that Magma Basin right there. That can slam down the new League One. Second Sableye hitting the bench on our lost Giratina player side. Let's make sure we're still recording and recording audio. Yep, looks good to me. And what can we do? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in the Lost Zone. So Mirage Gate is active, but Lost Mine on Sableye is not. It needs 10 cards in the Lost Zone to be able to attack with Lost Mine. But we're going to hit this Mirage Gate here. Maybe power up the both Sableye and the... No, you can't, actually. They have to... Mirage Gate, once there's 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone, you can search your deck for 2 different basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So, looks like a water energy and a psychic energy are being found from the deck. I imagine a psychic's going to go on a Sableye, and then a water on the Greninja, Radiant Greninja. Okay, alright. Interesting, because that Manaphy's down on the other side, but maybe no other better choice. Manually attaching to that Sableye, the second Sableye on the bench, so both Sableyes are ready for when there's 10 cards in the Lost Zone and passing things over to the Charizard player. Alright, the magma basin has stuck, so we get another turn of abilities here. And then are we doing another little pause? Casual pause here. So let's see, we have Pidgeot's quick search ability that can be used. Charizard's is already spent since it only comes into play whenever it's being evolved. But still, that Pidgeot ability of just being able to find any card in the deck, whew, so good. I don't know, maybe you start picking off those Sableyes. Greninja might be a good card to take out as well, so that way there's less draw power during the opponent's turn. Either way, a quick search found a card from the deck. It's that face down card. And let's see, does it look like boss? My guess is it'd be a boss's orders to start controlling your opponent's side of the board now that yours is pretty developed. We'll see what they've got. Nope, couldn't catch it quite there. What was in their hand? Looks like Magma Basin. The stadium is going to accelerate another fire energy to that Pokemon Go Charizard there at the cost of a couple damage counters. But that's okay. We got all the attackers ready to go in this game. Um, don't want to call it too soon, but there may be some writing on the wall. Boss's orders, bring up that Radiant Greninja. I agree with that here. I think that's the best target if a boss was going to be played. And Charizard EX easily KOs that Radiant Greninja. 4 prizes to 5 prizes now here in this mid-game. Comfey is promoted on the right, and play resumes on the Lost Giratina side. Starting things off with a flower selecting. To Lost Zone, a Giratina V-Star. Okay. We're seeing Giratina, but on Lost Zone, not on the field. Jet Energy attached to that Comfey on the bench, bringing it active, and a second flower selecting is activated. Taking a look at the top 2 cards. Gonna Lost Zone one of them, so have to take inventory of what's all in the discard. We can see pretty clearly what's all in the Lost Zone there. And a escape rope, shiny escape rope is put into the Lost Zone, and now we are at more than 10, right? 11 cards in the Lost Zone, so we don't need any more in there to activate things. Super Rod gonna shuffle back in a Radiant Greninja and a couple of energy, a couple of basic energy back into the deck. Excuse me. And let's see. I guess there's nothing left to do but Sableye attacking. Let's see. Sableye can easily pick off that Moltres that's on the bench. It cannot knock out the Charizard, Pokemon Go Charizard. It has currently 150 HP. But then you just leave that big giant Charizard EX in play. Yeah, so we'll see what our Lost Giratina player decides to do. Um, let's see, you can't take out the Manaphy and the Moltres. But it looks like Manaphy is the first thing to go. The player thinks maybe if there's a way to get back into this game, it's through Radiant Greninja. So 6 damage counters going on, or enough damage counters going on to that Manaphy. I think it was 7 needed, and then the rest of them going on to that Charizard EX. Big Charizard EX. Play resumes here on Charizard's side. And yeah, their board is just good to go. Supporter? Is that a... Oh, man, I don't know what that supporter is. Kindler. Alright, don't mind me. I'm going to go ahead and look this one up here. And I will go ahead and pause things so that way you guys aren't waiting for me. Alright. Kindler from Brilliant Stars. You can only use this... You can use this card only if you discard a fire energy card from your hand. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck and put 2 of them in your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Alright, so I'm gonna discard that fire energy card to look at the top 7 and put 2 of them into the hand. So, just developing the board even further now. Let's set up that checkmate scenario. Yep, you don't have to show your opponent because you just picked 2 of the cards there. So, a very interesting card in Kindler here in this deck. This kid can help cherry pick out those missing combo pieces that are needed. Really don't need too much more on this board here at this point. Um, but you might as well play your supporter per turn and advance your board state. Alright, so a couple of cards are found. Yeah, we discarded that nice League fire energy there for it. Plenty of fire energy on the board already thanks to that Pokemon Go Charizard's Burn Brightly ability. So let's see, a couple cards are found. A Radiant Charizard and a Charmander. Next is Resolve Magma Basin. Geez, I think in a timed situation you just scoop at this point to the Charizard player, right? So Magma Basin is going to accelerate an energy from the discard pile to that Radiant Charizard, unless it was placed from hand, because I didn't see the damage counters. Anyways, Charizard EX takes the KO on that Sableye. And Comfey is promoted to the active, and Giratina V is put on the bench here on the right. Finally, Giratina decided to join the game. Psychic Energy attached from hand to the Giratina V. Mirage Gate activated, allowing the player to search their deck for 2 different basic energy and attach them to their Pokemon in any way they like. So a water and a grass powering up that Giratina V. Cannot do significant damage this turn, but next turn, if it can evolve to that Giratina V-Star, we could see some powerful things happen. Alright, and I'm going to have to pause again here. Alright, it looks like we are recording again. Apologies for all the pauses, but let's finish up this game here. Okay, I think we are doing a flower selecting with that active Comfey here, taking a look at the top 2 cards, making our way through the deck, lost zoning that jet energy and keeping the other card. Are we even going to get an attack? Yeah, we will at least have an attack with Sableye here. Radiant Greninja going to hit the bench there. Let's see, that is open to attacking here, but it's not going to take any KO, so instead going to use concealed cards to discard a card, or an energy card to draw 2 cards. The Hollow League Path to the Peak is found there and immediately slammed down. Course Experiment is going to be played. The supporter card letting you take a look at the top 5 cards of the deck and keeping 3 of them and putting 2 in the Lost Zone. We're no longer concerned with building that Lost Zone here, since it's pretty much maxed out. More so just thin the deck out. Not thin the deck out, but make our way through the decks, and yeah, I guess thin it out in a way. Put cards that we don't really need anymore into the Lost Zone. Let's see, there are 2 Giratina V-Star in the Lost Zone. Wow, so those other cards must have been very important. Or there's already the 3rd Giratina V-Star in hand. Retreat that Comfey into Sableye, and Sableye will use Lost Mine to spread 12 damage counters on the opponent's side of the field. So now, where to put them? Pointing at the prize cards there, trying to map out the rest of the game here, if there still is one to be clawed back into here. Taking out the Charmander, 6 damage counters go on there, so now we got 6 more. Not taking a KO on anything, so do we just put them all on the Charizard? I guess we don't really care about putting him on the Charizard because it has, 33, 32, 31, 39, 28. It has 280 hit points left, so a lost impact on Giratina could take that out. And then it looks like the rest of the damage is going to go on the Pokemon Go Charizard. And player will resume on Charizard player's turn. They have Charizard player's side. Magma Basin immediately coming down to counter that Path to the Peak. So now Articuno, not Articuno, Pidgeot's quick search is online, and I think that's what we're doing here now. Quick search, Pidgeot's powerful ability lets you search the deck for a card, put it into your hand. I think we're looking for that boss's orders, right? Boss's orders on that Giratina V on the bench. I think that's what Pidgeot found. Let's see if that card gets immediately just flipped over. Another energy going to be attached to that Radiant Charizard there on the bench. Oh, and Serena, pretty much, pretty much boss's orders. Serena has a couple of effects. One of them being you may bring one of your opponent's V Pokemon from the bench to the active spot. So bringing up that Giratina V, taking the easy KO with the Charizard EX, going down to one prize card. Now we got the Sableye in the active spot here. Another Giratina V going on the bench. Not looking good for a Giratina player here, but since we're free playing, seeing what these decks can do, training for the Peoria regionals coming up here, no sense in scooping things up and moving to the next game right away. If you could, like, maybe play towards some paths that you may not be obvious. That this is the only way you're going to start to see them is by actually playing things out. So that's probably what our players are doing here. Nope, our Giratina player sees the writing on the wall and is going to scoop things up to our Charizard player here. So very interesting uh, game one here of our practice play. Both players kind of had a slow start, but Path was not able to stick long enough, and Charizard was able to run away with the game. Very cool. What do you think of this video and this commentary? Let me know in the comments. Again, apologies for all the pausing, but hey, at least we could do that and save the recording and not have to start all the way over, right? Please like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.